Okay, so isang pagpalang gabi or a good evening everyone. So for this particular episode, we're going to have a recap, review, and what's this? Nakalimutan ko yung isang salita. And reaction regarding the special talk that has been accomplished between Miss Universe Philippines and Miss Universe Indonesia, which was initiated by, of course, Miss Universe President Paula Shugart. So, i-assess natin kung sino sa kanila yung nag-stand out, sino yung consistent sa kanilang mga sagot. Let's start.
cyberbullying as it affects our community, not just our title holders, but our fans. And I know everyone knows pretty much what cyberbullying
So,
is, but just to give you
maganda
the
yung
definition,
adhikain
it
ng
is a form
organization
of
kasi
bullying or harassment using electronic means,
very timely
also
and
known
very
as
relevant
online
talaga kasi
bullying.
toxic na yung Filipino
Cyberbullying
fans and
includes
Indonesian fans eh.
sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. Let me just say, I obviously I've been here for a long time, and the one thing I really love about the Miss Universe organization is we do have the greatest fans in the world, and the passion, and that you guys really are who we are. We would be nothing without such an incredible and passionate fan base. And sometimes I think almost, my husband is a huge soccer fan, so I see the rivalry sometimes between countries, especially with the World Cup coming up. It's so exciting to get behind the person that is representing your country, that you want to support them any way possible.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it takes, unfortunately,
sa tindi na pagka-fanatic na ano na,
lifting up your delegate by
nagko-cross
tearing
the
down
line.
those rival countries, or what you perceive to be those rival countries. So sometimes it takes place on my social media feed, and some of you ask me to take note of a fan from another country that is being insulting to a delegate. First of all, it always makes me sad when I see that. And I have no say in who the final winner is. I know everybody always thinks that I do. But I think it's all very, very important. I love the fact that all of the women come together and they share their experiences, and all of them are changed forever, having created this sisterhood around.
I agree.
And I love the fact that you all are so engaged and support everyone throughout. But I want to have us come together as a community to really work to keep each other in check, and we're launching our kindness campaign, which I will refer to throughout this discussion. But for
So
it
it's
to really
yung
work, it
talk na
needs all
to,
of you
it's a
to be a part of
counter
it, and let's all
campaign
commit together
since it's kindness, so against
to remind each other to
cyberbullying.
be kind. I know for me personally, in the pageant community, we all experienced a tragedy in January, and with Chesley's passing, I made a commitment, and everyone came together, and we all committed to each other to be kind. And I know that that's how she lived, and that's what I want to impart to everyone.
Kasi
Let's
isa
all
sa
support each other
contributing
and
factor
continue
ng
to be
nag-suicide
kind and
si
support each other.
Chesley, yung ano rin eh, mga mean
And I will ask you all
comments.
to engage and call each other out. Put kindness campaign up when someone says something.
Hi Ramil, kumusta?
Just a couple of facts
I'm
before I
still
introduce our very special
on the
guests.
recovery, Ramil.
Just in researching for this, according to enough.org, they did a survey of in 30 countries. 1 in 3 young people have been reported that they have been a victim of online bullying.
Naku, mataas pala ng percentage, no? 1 out of 3
1 in
nabubully
5 have
online.
said that they had
So that
missed
is
school because of
33%.
online bullying. And that's
33.33%.
just so tragic. and we have it within our means to do something about that. So just remember that. With that said, I am very, very happy to introduce two young women who will be competing at Miss Universe later.
Yes.
They have the good fortune of having such an incredible fan base that engages actively online. But
Getting
first, I would
better,
like
Ramil,
representing the Philippines, Miss Universe Philippines,
in the
Celeste
process.
Cortezi.
Ayan na si
Mabuhay
Celeste.
Celeste, I know you're on mute. And from Indonesia, Miss Universe Indonesia, Laxmi Denise Swardana. And I am so happy. Did I get that right?
Yes, hello, selamat malam. Thank you so much, Paula. You got it absolutely right.
I was always nervous about getting on camera anyway, but I stayed up all night. Okay, I've got to make sure I sound exactly properly. So thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, so now I can handle so it's great to see you both, and I look forward to meeting you in person. But if we could just start and just talk about your experiences since being crowned and what you've experienced online from the fan base. And Celeste, why don't we start with you? And
Sure. Thank you so much, first of all, for having us in this live, and hello to everybody. My experience after I won, I received a lot of love, but at the same time, I also received a lot of bashing. I had people calling me many names. I also had people even editing my own photos just to make me look bad, to the point that I also had bashers trying to bash my family, my mom, my sister, my mother, sorry, my dad. And I think it really got to a point that it's just too much, especially when they don't just touch you, but they also touch your family. So I think people
Mm-mm.
really have to realize that there is a line that should never be crossed.
So Celeste is
and Celeste, I know
sharing
you had some
her
of the same
experience from the time she
with your
won, she
family. I
was
know that we
crowned.
talked about that earlier, but
Mm-mm.
how about when you were crowned?
Yeah, so I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. Before I joined pageantry, I was just an ordinary girl. I graduated from actually Italy in 2020, and
Mm.
I came home to Bali to help my parents, but I came across pageantry. And before I won Putri Indonesia, I had such positive support online. But after I won Miss Universe Indonesia, a week later, I started receiving pictures online with my face being edited with pimples, people calling me Miss Indo Acnesia, and having like horse teeth and horrible things. But what hurt me the most is that they also attacked my father, who's very special to me. Fun fact, he's also a soccer lover and a soccer manager. So when they attack my family, it's very hurtful because I joined pageantry, I joined Putri Indonesia in the first place because it is a platform that uplifts communities and women and the world. So to be in this position where you are bullied and seeing so much hate online is something that I am still learning to deal with, and I hope will stop in the future. So I'm so excited to join this kindness campaign. Thank you so
Mm-mm.
much.
Maganda yung
No,
ano
that
kasi
it's
syempre
great, and
magkaiba.
I really
Mm-mm.
it's so bothersome just to know that we all
It
talk
doesn't
and we've
mean
had
naman
these
na
conversations
nanalo
before, and
ka,
we say,
tanggap
oh,
ka
you
ng
have to
lahat.
ignore things, or you have to be strong. And I think sometimes you hear in the pageant, hear
Mm-mm.
you as delegates saying, okay, I know I have to be strong, I know I have to ignore it, and try to find out and be confident in myself. But then it's also when it reaches to your family, it there's a helplessness there,
Kasi
because
public
it's you want to
figure ka
protect
na
your
eh.
family
You are
who's done so
subject
much to
to
support you. I know
judgment.
at the end of this conversation, we are going to throw it out to questions from our viewing audience and our fans out there. So everybody just be prepared to, if you have things that you want to say.
Mm-mm.
And one of the things that I will ask our fans, and I'd love to have some of them comment, is why? Why do you think, for those of you, there's got to be someone that's watching today that's posted a negative comment. And I'd love to just find out why
For
you
sure
think
na
that
nanonood
it's
dito
okay. I
yung
think in the moment,
Filipino
is it
fans
something,
and Indonesian
are you
fans.
posting to hurt someone? It's something that people don't realize, even though we can give you all the tools you need and you can talk and try to to uplift yourself. I really think it all has to go back to the heart of the person that's posting and
Mm-mm.
trolling and doing that. And I would love for anyone that's thinking about putting something negative up there to
Agree.
think about, is this something that I would say if I were in the room with that person? If I didn't have the cloak of
Kasi
anonymity,
words or
would I be
statements can
doing
either
this? And if
encourage
we think that
or
deep, then I
demotivate
think it sometimes
someone.
might stop someone
It's
from
either
posting something. I
either.
just invite everybody to do that. And I also think you guys do have to think about that, that it's someone that's feeling empowered because you don't know who they are.
Mm-mm.
So what are your expectations? What are you doing to prepare for this
So the next
as you
question
have
is
to deal with
regarding
trolling
on
online and
the
your how are you engaging with
preparation.
your online community throughout this
Mm,
process?
naku, advertisement, wait lang.
Today, I would like to provide the
It's really hard because even though you think you're a strong person, don't get affected by it. When you see some comments, it's just very hurtful, especially when they say something that is not true, especially when they attack your family. And I always try in my own way to spread love and kindness. I always try to talk to my fans by telling them that bashing another candidate won't make me win. That if they really want to support me, then they have to love me and also love other candidates and support other candidates. I think
Mm-mm.
that's very important because I mean, Miss Universe organization is about empowering other women. It's about supporting each other. And I know that fans are very, very passionate about beauty pageants, but you should never cross the line. You should always think about saying something because you never know how much words can hurt until it's too late.
Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
totally agree with Alexis. And can I just add something, Paula, that from my research, cyberbullies attack people online for no reason at all. So I want to be here to support this kindness campaign and just put a full stop on these bullies. Just say stop cyberbullying and spread positivity and love and kindness throughout my social media. Let's be an example and create a positive community and show the
Magkaiba
world
sila
that the
ng
pageant
atake sa
community is
pagsagot.
powerful,
Mm-mm.
united when they are kind and loving and positive. And maybe a little bit of a tip for how I personally deal with cyberbullying or when I'm down, when I see hate comments online, is I have the M's, I call them. So first is meditate, and then movement, and the last one is music. So meditation helped me accept who I really am because I believe that once you have accepted your
Hi, Madam
flaws, no one can
Jenaline.
use them against you.
Ngayong gabi.
And movement is, simple
So, si
exercising,
Miss
going out there
Indonesia
in
is trying
nature,
to,
talking to
she's
people, moving
emphasizing
around
na
your society or
kapag may
community to
nababasa
just
siyang mga negative
refresh your
comments, to
mind.
refresh
And of
yourself,
course, music because it motivates me
meditation,
and it's
movement,
fun. So
and
those
music. So,
simple
yun
things
yung
I
coping
hope can
mechanism niya.
help someone out there who's experiencing cyberbullying because it's a huge problem right now in our world.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I was just writing this down for later for my own use. It's so important to disengage sometimes. You feel like you're part of this community, and then you go away for a while. It's nice to just take that moment to, and I think meditation or whatever your safe space is, where you can go and just reflect. And
Okay. Live ba siya
one of the
ngayon,
things
Madam
what I
Jenaline?
love
Or
as you guys will all be
naka-premiere
together at some
recorded?
point, and you really will walk out with a
Nag-live siya
sisterhood,
ngayon?
and you all support each other. And I think that can be reflected in the community as well. Everybody, uh, it's okay to have a rivalry. I think it's great to have a
Mm-mm.
rivalry. I remember when Pio won, and it was the first time in 42 years that the Philippines had won, and I saw people from other countries congratulating the
Nag-live si
Philippines,
Miss
and I thought it was
Bell.
such a nice, special moment
Ngayon?
that people knew what it meant. And so I do feel, and I know that we'll be getting questions in a minute from out there, but I do want to remember that everybody to remember that rivalries are great, but it's how they manifest. And I, up until I think when I first heard the word trolling a few years ago, or hearing about trolls,
Thank
my
you,
first
Madam
image
Jeneline,
was that it
for
was the troll
sharing.
under the bridge, the really negative, mean monster under the bridge as a troll. But really, trolling is based in the fact that people are throwing out, it's phishing and they're trolling. So they're
Mm-mm.
throwing these comments out because they want to get a reaction and to be engaged. And if they throw this fishing line out and they're trolling for fish and no one bites, then eventually they will stop. So I think it's a really good point where you initially might want to react or say something. I think probably the best thing is to not
8:15,
engage. And
mamaya-maya
that also
pa.
goes for our
Mm.
fans, not necessarily you guys, but our fans. If somebody from another country is saying nasty things, then people feel they have to rise up and engage and say, oh, how could you say that? Then that troll is getting exactly what they want. Because whether you guys are kind of caught in the crossfire of it, because it's more they're seeking to engage the other fans, and they don't realize that you're human beings and you have feelings, and as much as we
Yes.
can
Mm-mm.
build you up, it's going to hurt. And I think when people are saying it, they don't even realize what they're necessarily doing. So what I would challenge everyone, if someone does try to throw a nasty comment out there to troll and engage the other side, you can respond. Just respond with #kindness
Hi,
campaign.
projectionist.
And so just take that away. So if somebody says something negative in a fan base, either you guys or the other fans, just say kindness campaign. It's kind of a, as we say here in the South, bless your heart, So and there it is. I love that it's on the screen. So anytime someone says something negative, let's commit to doing that. So uh, so one thing I know you guys talked about early, just is and I know you just mentioned meditation
Mm-mm.
and
Meditation on
music,
movement.
but Celeste, was there anything that you do to help you get through this process and help your mental health?
Mm-mm.
To be completely honest, whenever I see, I'm not the kind of person that always reads the comments, but when I see something that it is not true or it's very hurtful, I usually just block the user. And it is a way for me to just block the negativity. And I think that there is nothing wrong with that. I am always open to constructive criticism, but I do not support any kind of violence and cyberbullying. So I think that in this kind of situations, you really have to prioritize your mental health first.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. And block. I think that's fine, and for people to know as well that the Miss Universe organization will start to block people, especially repeat offenders, as we go into this. You will be blocked because we just aren't going to tolerate it. So I think that's a really good point. Do you have questions for each other while we're
Anong
all here
mag-join
together?
sa kanya?
Well, I
Um,
just wanted to add that I
anytime.
totally
Oh,
Celeste
maiksi lang
that I
naman
don't
to,
support
Madam
cyberbullying
Jenaline.
at
Mga
all. And cyberbullying
50
towards
minutes
all
lang.
my
50 minutes lang
sister
ako
queens at
mag-live.
Miss Universe who I'm gonna meet.
Mm.
In fact, actually, it makes me a little bit embarrassed to see how we are compared and bullied side by side on Instagram almost every day. So I would like to again, please stop this cyberbullying and let's together continue this kindness campaign.
Kasi
So
kailangan nilang
please, Celeste, with your
i-foster, i-promote
question.
yung kindness.
Yes. So I
Parang
would
to
like to ask
lessen the
you,
bashing.
how
Of
do
course,
you maintain
we
your
cannot
mental
erase
health and public
cyberbullying
presence
bashing right
after
away.
going through cyberbullying?
How I maintain my mental health and public presence is again with my M's, but I think I want to mention a little bit more about talking to people who can really help you, whether it's your
You're
family
welcome.
or a life coach or a friend. I think it's
Mm-mm.
really important to connect, have a real human
Instead na
connection, and get
mag-isolate,
out of social media when
makipag-usap.
you need
Mm-mm.
to. Just go back and ground yourself. I think that's so important for me.
Great.
And
I totally agree with that. Even me, other than blocking people. I love meditating. I know that as long as I know myself so much and deeply, nobody can really touch me. And I also like to talk to my fans, the people that love me. I like to talk to
Mm-mm.
my friends, people that really want to support me, and people that really uplift me. So one advice to others would be don't focus on the hate. I know it is hard, but don't focus on that. Just
Agree.
focus on the people that really, really love you and the people that want to support you every
Mm-mm.
day.
Don't pay attention for
And
those
I'd like to know, because
bashers.
you guys do have a huge fan base and a
Hmm.
very engaged community. So you have this forum right now. What would you each like to tell your community about how they are online as far as with other contestants?
Maybe I'll start first this time. I would like to say to maybe the Indonesian pageant lovers or audience that, we should come together and show what it's about. We have this motto in Indonesia, unity in diversity. So we are also known to be a very tolerant country. So let's show that on social media. Because I know for a fact that when you come to Indonesia, you can feel the kindness and the respect and the tolerance here. So let's show that, let's reflect that online as well. That's what I want to say, and continue to spread love and kindness in social media, as well as before you write something online, think about it. I really believe in the power of words, the power that it could bring to a
Hi,
person, but
Annalisa.
also how
Indonesia, di
to
ba?
let
Good
that
speaker
person
din kasi
down.
sa
Because once you
Indonesia.
post something online, it will stay forever
Yes, I agree.
online and in that person's mind. So before you do anything, post anything, think again and be respectful online. That's all I can say to the Indonesian pageant lovers and everyone watching tonight.
Mm-mm.
I totally agree with you.
Nice one.
I always tell everyone to spread more love than hate, to always be mindful of the things you say because you never know how much words can hurt a person. And I'm telling you this because I am strong enough to handle it. But just imagine young women or young men that are going through cyberbullying. In the worst case, it ends up with suicide. And that's the worst case. So you never know what the person is going through. You never know what the person um, has been going through in the whole life. So you really have to be careful with the things you say. You really have to be mindful. And to my fans, if they really want to support me and they really love me, don't bash the other candidates. Really, because it won't make me win. It won't make me look better than the others. So I hope they will understand that, and I really hope they will share more kindness and love.
Ayun. Nawala si
That's
Indonesia.
actually a great message because the fans also represent the country.
Yeah.
And so I think that one of the things that you mentioned is the fact that uh, when people when you feel inclined to put hateful remark up, it
Mm-mm.
permeates who you
Parang it's a
are
reflection.
inside.
It will
If
bounce
you
back.
hatred festers
Mm-mm.
and negativity can fester. So even though someone feels, then words can wound. But if people have that inside and have that negativity there, it tends to eat them up. Somebody once said
I'm
to me,
sorry.
"No, we thought, okay, you went away for a
The computer froze, but I'm back.
uh,
Hello.
well, welcome. And one thing I was going to say, I have heard nothing but that Indonesia is a country of kindness, and have not had the opportunity to travel there yet. I was supposed to be at your pageant, but COVID had other plans, so I did. I apologize that I was not there for your crowning, and I did want to say hello to Putri because I was really looking forward to being there, and to people in Indonesia. I hope I'm going to be there next year. Um,
Thank you so much, Paula. You're always welcome here, and perhaps in Bali one day, and Celeste as well. Thank you.
I really want to go there.
I think yes.
Hopefully after the pageant.
But what we were saying is we were talking about Celeste was giving some of her asking the fans to, if they really support her, that they won't take negative comments for the other candidates. But we were talking about it's so easy, I think, even before social media, where people you find comfort sometimes or in being mean, or the whole thing about mean girls, or and when I first came into the pageants, the message boards, it's so much easier, even in a corporate setting. Sometimes you find comfort in being negative, and it's hard. You have to sort of keep yourself in check on that. But the negativity and hateful comments it not only affects the people and wounds the people that you put out there, but that rests within you.
within the
If you
person.
keep that negativity there. Somebody once said to me that holding on to hate is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die.
Yes.
Just because it's really affecting you. So
Agree.
if you are inclined to do that and you don't keep each other in check on that, it really affects you more than
Kasi
anybody
yun
else, as whoever is the person out there doing that. So
giving
and
hatred.
that's what I also remind people in the pageant during the competition. You're going to have moments that you're tired. You're going to have moments, but never forget that you're there to support each other. And because I think people want to think that there's a cattiness going on behind the scenes, but there really isn't.
Wow.
They'll be disappointed. No one's cutting up dresses. No one's doing all the things that people like to say or think that there are going on. So I wanted to see, we can also open it up to other questions that are coming in from anybody that's watching. I do not see anything right now. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to. Okay. Okay. So why is it important to educate people about cyberbullying?
cyberbullying.
I think we've hit on it a little bit,
Awareness.
but Lakshmi, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think it's so important to educate people about cyberbullying because it's affecting not just us pageant queens, but also children out there. And we've seen the number of children harming themselves rise really high during the pandemic because we are more online nowadays, and it's just like not okay to see how
The mental health.
people, bullies who have absolutely no motive to criticize or embarrass someone online, and to see the kids or people get mentally affected by it and perhaps harm themselves is not okay. So we need to stop it. We need to educate people on the consequences of their actions on social media.
Yes, I really, really agree with you because it affects millions of people around the world. And as I said earlier, in the worst case, people really harm themselves. They end up committing suicide. And that's really, it's really, really sad. So that's why people have to be careful with the things they say. It's very important to educate people about cyberbullying. I've been bullied so many times, even in my high school, even when I was a little girl. And if I didn't have the right people around me, I don't know what I would have done, to be honest. So you never know how much words can hurt someone. You have to be mindful. You have to be sensitive enough to
Agree.
put yourself in other people's shoes. Really, it's very, very important, especially on social media, especially with what's happening because of the pandemic, so many people are always on their phones, they're always on their social media, so the numbers are rising. So it's really important that we are mindful with everything that we say online.
Right, and this is
Filtering.
this is the first generation that's coming up that has always lived in a social media world. So your perception of yourself is kind of dictated by what you see out there. So if people are
Kasi
posting on
yun
Instagram
escape
a
yung
life that
virtual
looks
world. It's
perfect,
not reality.
that's not real.
What we
And
see
people also,
online,
and because I
it's
think that also is what isolates you a little more, and you feel that, oh, everyone is having this other life going on out there. But you have to realize that
online is not
everybody's reality,
reality.
while different, people are very much the same and are affected the same way. And that's one of the things you guys will all see when we get the whole world together, the whole universe together, and you'll see just how much you all have in common. So let's see if there's some more questions from the audience. Okay, Justine, what would you say to a young girl who is experiencing cyberbullying and wants to give
Ay,
up?
maganda yung
Celeste,
question.
why don't
Go Celeste.
My only advice I would give to this young girl is to really keep your head up, no matter what. What people think about you is not a reflection of who you are. And I'm
Mm.
saying this because I've been through cyberbullying and bullying a lot of times, even when I was a little girl. And what I do to overcome this kind of situation is that I really talk to my family, I talk to my loved ones, and I always try to find comfort in their love and support. So really, keep your head up. You're beautiful the way you are. You are unique, and you don't have to let anyone tell you something that is not true and define you because you can only do that.
Agree.
And I would say to a young girl who's experienced cyberbullying is that in most cases, they've probably never met you. They don't know who you are. And the only person that knows you is yourself. So remember who you are, be kind to yourself. Always, again, as Salah said, keep your head up and connect with your friends and family because they will give you support and they will like
The support
lead you
system.
to finding what's important in life because whatever these bullies are saying online is not important because they are only there to hurt you. And again, as you said, Paula, they are trolling. They want a reaction from you. So don't let that affect you.
no, that it's so true. And the one thing, I mean, I grew up before social media, but I remember
Instant din kasi yung
I was
ano,
very, very shy.
bullying ngayon.
And I was in a bullying
One
situation.
reaction,
I was
one
part of
comment,
theater and
or
and
one
orchestra, which is
DM,
not the
or
two
one
most
message
popular
away, di
things
ba?
in
It
high
can hit
school.
someone
So,
right
but I
away,
remember just
instantly.
being so feeling lonely and feeling depressed and being teased and that.
Mm-mm.
And I remember just feeling that just that it was an awful feeling.
Tsaka
And I remember speaking to my
iba-iba yung
aunt, and I'm
coping
really, really
mechanism ng
glad
bawat
because she
tao.
happened to be visiting because I didn't think I had someone to turn to. I didn't think my mother would understand. And my aunt said to me, I went through the same thing. And all I can tell you is it will pass. The day will come when it doesn't matter. And you have to hold on to that and remember that. So if you are experiencing cyberbullying and you just are at your wits end, number one, if you have family and friends that you can talk to, do not, number one thing, do not keep it to yourself
Yes.
because that kind of grows within you.
Kasi yung
So
isolation di
seek anyone
makakatulong.
out. And if you don't have that resource with your family and friends, and thankfully most people do, try to, if you have access to counseling, seek it out.
Counselor,
But one
professionals.
thing, and I think primarily women tend to do this, you can have 100 comments. 98 could be great comments.
Yes.
And you're only going to remember the two
Two.
that were negative. It's so easy to do. And I think all people do it, but I've seen studies that women tend to focus on that.
The
So I
negativity.
also, if you have a negative comment that's playing in your head, do all the things. First, block the person if you need to, really, and try to disconnect, meditate, listen to music, all the things that you talked about. But then go back and look at the positive comments and read those, and remember that people are using your thread to maybe battle each other or talk to each other. But then go ahead and focus on the positive as well. See, do we have anything else?
Very enriching, very
This is a good
inspiring.
one. Okay, how will you defend each other to their bashers? Indonesia to Philippines
And
and
vice
vice versa.
versa. Batuhan.
Who starts?
You wanna
Fight it out.
um,
Go
well,
Celeste.
how we would defend each other by showing that it is not a fight. It is a competition, but it has to be a healthy competition. And I have no
Healthy
problem in being
competition.
friends with her. I mean, I love her country. I join Miss Universe, and I want to be friends with everybody. So people really have to understand that. And if I can add something, even before this live, after Miss Universe posted about the live chat on YouTube, and there was hashtag Universe United. You know,
Mm-mm.
I saw so many bad
Pero
comments,
yung voice,
expecting
yung
people
tone
expecting
kasi
a
ng
cat
voice si
fight
Celeste,
between
ganyan
me and
talaga.
Lakshmi.
Maybe
And
yung
it is
audio
not
niya
like
hindi
that.
gano'n
We are
ka-ano.
here to talk about it.
Pero
We are
parang
here to have a
ang laki ng improvement
conversation,
ni
meaningful
Celeste.
conversation. It is not me against her. It's
Mm.
me, her, and the
Thank you,
organization against
Cariel,
one
for
enemy, that is
sharing that
cyberbullying.
observation.
So I hope people,
Pero very
realize these
enriching,
things.
very
It is a
relatable
healthy
yung
competition between
statements.
us.
Maganda
Yeah.
yung
And
batuhan
I
ng
just want to
statements nila.
say, I love to travel. I've met many Filipinos in my life. I love your food and your cuisine. And when I first saw you, Celeste, I feel like we could be friends. And,
Sana
stop
mag-roommate sila
like
na
making
Indonesia.
us against each other because it's not true. And all of us girls, we have our own,
Yung fans
group. We
kasi yung
talk to each other. We
toxic, not
support
the
each other.
queens.
I would be very happy to see Celeste strive and be successful and happy in her life. So stop putting us against each other because it's not
Why not?
healthy. It's very toxic and it's not good for the Miss Universe platform or pageantry. And again, let's spread love and kindness.
Well, do you think
Yeah.
it's would it be fair to say, let's say if someone was attacking, if someone from Indonesia were attacking the Celeste, if you view it as an attack on you as well. So if somebody says something negative to one of your fellow delegates, it's also reflective. And then from your country,
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
hurting
reflection.
you as well. If you
it's
think
true. It's true.
Yes,
That's why I always, sorry, true.
no, I mentioned before how whenever I see bullies on other delegates, I feel embarrassed because I feel like these bullies, this small percentage of bullies online that are creating a huge scale of problem,
Mm.
are only using us girls that are the representative of their country as a tool or an excuse for them to fight. And I think this should stop because we are all girls who
Mm-mm.
want to uplift each other and uplift our community in the world. So I don't think that we should, focus on this negativity.
yeah,
That's
it's
totally true. I mean, Miss Universe is really about supporting, uplifting, and empowering other women. So if you want to support me, you have to support everybody in the competition.
That's a great point. We are about the world and community coming together and supporting and
Mm-mm.
uplifting each other.
Other.
Not just you guys as delegates, but it's the community as a whole. There's such a power in this community. And one thing that really, the Universe United platform that came out of COVID, one of the few positive things to come out of COVID was we really were able to build this community and tap into the community. And I think there's such a great opportunity here for all of us to support. And I talked to all of you guys about being the change. When you come together, the power, future forged by women, but the whole community. I'm going to challenge all of you out there to be the change. And that's
Yes,
why if you do see a negative
positive
comment
change.
on our threads or anywhere, just again, hashtag kindness campaign. It's just you can call each other out on it. You guys have the
Yes.
power to be that change. We have maybe 100 delegates, but we have thousands of fans around the world that can actually monitor each other. You guys can make each other better. You guys can make a
Mm-mm.
change as well. So okay, here's something from Jordan. Okay, this is for, okay, good evening to Miss Indonesia, Miss Philippines, and to Paula. My question is, how can someone be bullied in cyberspace? I think it's actually kind of easy to be bullied in cyberspace, because I think, uh, when nobody knows who
One
you are,
comment lang,
I think
di
it's
ba?
become people feel it's almost fashionable
Kahit
to
nga
say
lang yung
whatever they want, and I
reaction.
think it's that rule of thumb. If you can say it to me in the room, in front of me, and not be embarrassed by what you're saying, then maybe that's something you can post. But if it's something that you would feel like a fool, or that you are not, it's not something that you, or it's something you shouldn't say, then that should be your rule of thumb. If you can't say it there, why is it okay to say it in cyberspace? I think it makes it easier sometimes because
Mm-mm.
people feel they can do it without any ramifications at all.
Yeah. And I think when you become public figures and you become a Miss Universe Indonesia, a Miss Universe Philippines, you open yourself up to the public to criticize you and open yourself up to bullying. But also with this title comes a big privilege and power, and we are able to influence people and create change. So with this problem of cyberbullying, I hope that we can change this and create a more kind community in the pageant world online.
Yeah, definitely. It is so easy nowadays to just create a fake account and just leave any kind of comment,
Dummy
because people
accounts.
don't feel responsible just because they don't have their picture photo, they don't have, their real name on it. So it is really common. And I kind of feel like it became just normal to express your opinion with disrespect and without being sensitive enough. But it is not normal. Bullying, cyberbullying is not normal. And at least in my small community and with my small platform, I will encourage everyone to spread more love than hate.
No, I actually used to. I know that you can't do this, but I'd almost love to see a day of the great reveal where everybody online is revealed to be who they are. So everyone has to stand by their comments and say, "Okay, yeah, I did say this." So,
I will love
it's
that.
my fantasy. I can dream about that. So I think we have two more questions and then we're out of time, I think. So, oh, okay, this is an interesting one. What is the best and worst comment you've read on social media? Not to give power to the negative one, but just so for each of you. So,
I want to start.
so
You can
why did you go?
Okay. Okay.
Go
I will
Celeste.
start from the worst comment.
Maganda yung question na
I
to.
would say when people always question my nationality.
Mm-mm.
I've read so many comments saying I am ashamed for my country. I don't deserve to wear the Philippine sash because I come from a multicultural family. My dad
Mm-mm.
is Italian and my mom is Filipina. And it really hurts me so much because I wear the Philippine sash with so
Sa
much
question
pride.
na
I
to,
am
dito
so
siya
much
naging
proud of my
emotional.
roots. And I always tell these people that I was born in the Philippines. I have a Filipino mom, and nobody can take that away from me. I may not be able to speak the language very fluently.
Mm. Very
However, I am
transparent kasi
learning
on her
every single
part.
day. And
Mm-mm.
what makes me a Filipina is the fact that every single day I'm open to learning the culture, the tradition, and the
Mm-mm.
language. So I
Agree.
hope people can understand that because, again, words really hurt other people, and you have to be mindful with that. And going to the best comment, to be more positive, I would say it really makes me happy when people tell me that I'm very relatable, when people see themselves in my actions and in me. It just makes me so happy because it means I am doing something right.
Mm.
It means I am using my platform in a right way. It means I am able to inspire even just one young girl. And it just makes me so happy because I think the best asset that a young woman can have is to be relatable and authentic.
I
So I
agree.
hope, I just want to say thank you to the people supporting me and loving me.
Great. Lakshmi?
Well, it's not really a comment, but it's actually a photo of me when I was quite young on a beach with a bikini on and being compared to the candidates of today with their beautiful photos is something for me that is quite unfair and hurtful because these trolls or bullies have the time, took the time to go online and really get deep into the information to really put me down and hurt me. So I feel like that's such an it's a very mean thing to do. And I would like to focus on the best things though, how I'm always getting messages about how I'm always humble and authentic, and also how I'm focusing a lot of a lot on my advocacy and activities. And currently Indonesia is hosting the G20 summit. So I'm very busy in preparing and getting involved in that because whenever I attend an activity or an event, I can inspire someone, I can speak about important matters. And I think that's the best thing and most important thing to me about getting the title of Putri Indonesia. So Yeah, thank you. That's all I have to say.
So
Let's
focus
focus
on,
on the positive.
yes, absolutely. And that's a good note for everyone there. And I don't know if we had one more question because this feels like a perfect one to end on right
Yes.
now. So I didn't know if there was one more question in the queue. Okay, so no, this is a good one to end on, but I do want to just um, thank you guys for being here. But I do want to just again get our community to work together to really call each other out. You know, we are a powerful force, and we can really take this on and make a difference here. So if you call each other out on
Both Philippines and
and
Indonesia
if you see a negative comment, hit it with the kindness
answer the
campaign.
question well, but in a different
Also block or report comments. You
approach.
do have the power to
Iba-iba sila ng
block,
atake
and you're able to
sa
restrict
pagsagot
certain
sa
words and
tanong.
phrases. So use that. And I always love when they bring the kindness campaign crawl across the screen. But then to everyone, think before you type.
I
Think
agree.
before you post. Really think how you would feel if
Thank
that
you
were directed at
everyone
you.
sa sumama for
And
this live
really let's take
review,
this
recap,
upcoming pageant
reaction.
one where we can take this on and
Maraming
make it
salamat
different
sa
and
suporta.
make it uncool for anybody to type anything negative, and let's as a community call each other out, and because
Yes.
we are stronger than all of that. And to anybody that's watching, I'm sure there are many out there that have experienced or are experiencing bullying right now, and please know that you're not alone, and you do
Yes.
have opportunities and you have the strength, you have the power of our community.
Very
But
reinforcing.
and reach out. There are people that are there to help,
Great thoughts.
and realize, please, that you're not alone, and you will get through it. We're all living examples of taking it one day at a time and working to get through
Let's
it.
congratulate the Miss
And
Universe
I
organization
cannot
for
thank you guys
taking
enough for
this
being here. And
kindness
I
campaign
know that your
to
fans
reality.
will take what you've said to heart,
This is
and
a
not
positive,
attack each
friendly
other or
reminder to
you
all
guys.
pageant fans
And I
around
think
the
that'll go
globe.
across the universe as we prepare. But I just want to remind everybody that the Miss Universe organization, we've taken a strong stand this year. We are not going to tolerate bullying of any kind.
Yes.
And we're here to build people up, to champion, encourage, and uplift each other. So
Yes, I agree.
we're declaring this is a no negativity zone.
Instead of
So
bullying, it
if
should
you
be
continue, you will be
kindness.
blocked, and as a community, we will challenge you. So thank you guys for being here,
Thank you,
and
Madam
we
Jenaline,
will talk soon.
Annalisa,
And I want to thank
sa
everyone for
lahat ng
being
sumama
a
sa...
part of it. And don't forget, kindness campaign.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.